Well, there it is. Hello guys, welcome once again to another Warcraft 3 Reforged video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the demon character models for ARCHIMONDE KIL'JAEDEN, Magtheridon, and there's even a couple of others. So thanks to Wowhead again, they've brought us another article for us to take a look at. So if you guys strap on, and not in that way, we can take a look at this. So if you enjoy this content, make sure to subscribe and thumbs up the video, because I love bringing this stuff to you, and definitely make sure to comment because I like reading your comments. Thank you guys so much for your support, and let's get going. The latest Warcraft 3 data mining post covers some of the villains and demons like ARCHIMONDE, Magtheridon, and Manoroth. Several of these NPCs can be found in modern day WoW. You can experience the Battle of Mount Hyjal directly in World of Warcraft, battling against Azgalor and ARCHIMONDE. Manoroth is both in the Well of Eternity, Flashback Dungeon, and Alternate Universe, Hellfire Citadel. Magtheridon is one of the early bosses in the Burning Crusade. Kil'JAEDEN was the final boss of the Burning Crusade expansion, returning in Legion as the final boss of the Tomb Sagaris raid. Saffron? Yeah, we know this one mostly from Warcraft 3 actually. It's, I think Arthas's pet dragon is the penultimate boss in Naxxramas. So, you can see ARCHIMONDE. Shall we take a look at ARCHIMONDE? Yeah, let's do. I'm still ill, so I might have a cough here and there. I apologize. It's a lingering cough and it's going to be sticking around for a while. Oh, yes. Look at the Fel. You can almost see the glow coming off his shoulder pads. I wonder if it does actually animate a glow. So you can sort of see like a mist kind of steaming away from those shoulder pads. He looks amazing. I mean, ARCHIMONDE always was a very impressive looking character, even in the original Warcraft 3. As old as those graphics might be, I still love them, but as old as those graphics might be, ARCHIMONDE still looks pretty damn impressive. But you can really see he is just these big, bulky legs sort of pushing forward. His sort of stance with his shoulders back, you know, he's in charge, and he knows. Commands the battlefield, which he basically does. He's like the second-hand man, right-hand man. Oh, look at the tail. It's got little grooves in it and everything. That's a proper tail. Like, the detail is so incredible in these characters. It is kind of amazing. Look at the back, the huge mantle. Everyone remembers that cutscene of ARCHIMONDE, don't they? Where he builds the sandcastle of Dalaran and just trashes it. You get a real good look at his armor pieces there. So I think this has been slightly more embellished. I can't remember off the top of my head whether his armor pieces had quite this much detail on the shoulder pads. I know they were just like golden, but I like the touches nonetheless. It's like this demonic waist, and just the hoofs, very strong. It's got like this Dreadlord appearance at the bottom, but then at the top he's a little bit more powerful than a Dreadlord. ARCHIMONDE looking pretty much on point. If you guys have any criticisms, feel free to point them out, because I might not notice. My memory's not always the best, but if you guys can point those out, I would love to read them, because I've been, like I say, reading your comments and appreciating it. This is kind of weird. This is a zombie. It looks like a zombie from another video game. I mean, I know, they're going with the realistic aspect, and I've had to sort of rein myself back a little bit when taking a look at some of these newer models. Like, in retrospect, I wasn't so keen on Jaina's model because I didn't feel like she stood out as much or seemed as sort of pretty or outstanding, which isn't to say, oh, she's not a pretty girl, wow, that's not good. It's not so much that, it just felt like she was brighter and more vibrant in the original Warcraft 3, like the colours and everything, her eyes sort of stood out, but the newer take on her, she seems a bit more generic. The zombie, I mean, it looks good like a zombie, but I mean, the old ones did look weird. I gotta give you, but I don't like the look of the ghouls and the zombies, really, the undead. I feel like they're way too realistic. We're gonna get a look at the undead models eventually, and I'm a bit afraid, because you see in the Abomination, like, I'm conflicted, because part of me likes them and part of me doesn't. Because it's like, well, yeah, I mean, that's a zombie. There's, like, look at the hands, or the you know, the bubbles. It's the skin boiling, retching, tearing away, pulsating. The effort's been put in, and I can see that. But it just doesn't quite remind me of Warcraft 3. That's the issue I have. And I think that's what it does. It detaches me from what I know. and what I love. So I'm a bit worried with that, particularly with the undead. I think you can get away with it with characters like the Dreadlord and Necromancers, because they've got more of a kind of a stance to them, an atmosphere, like the robes and all of that. But with generic kind of ghouls and zombies where they're just wearing rags, they look too blandish. Is that right? That's the feeling I get really when taking a look at that. It's the same with the ghoul model. I can get into the World of Warcraft ghoul model, but I'll be honest, I really like the Warcraft 3 one, hands down. But the World of Warcraft one at least is funny because it looks stupid and gimpy. Like, I can appreciate that part of it, but it's not really a good reason to appreciate it. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Dark Souls much? This guy's he's the first boss in Dark Souls, isn't he? This is Azgalor. He looks incredible. Look at the head, just the fierce sort of vile hatred just emanating from him. Bony tusks, the shattered wings but still meaty. Oh yes, this is an improvement. This is good. Sheer power coming from this guy. He almost looks like he's from Diablo 3 in a little way. Not like direct port from Diablo 3, but it's just like those kind of muscles and everything. You can imagine that being a beastie character in Diablo 3, a demon. Oh, look at the back. Yeah, he's got his own little colours. So all the sort of like the pit lords are gonna have their own colouring scheme. He's got those elephant sort of like feet and the giant chains, and that hammer looks gorgeous. You can get away with a ridiculous looking hammer on a character that's obviously so strong as the pit lord. Very nice. Very impressed with that one. Because to me, this looks like we're going to get very different looking pit lords. Because that does not look like Manoroth. That looks like he stands out by himself. Fel Stalker. Oh my goodness, that's terrifying. Yeah, that does look like a Fel Stalker. Albeit a little bit more Surglin style. But then again, they were always kind of based off that look. Look at the muscles. Obviously, it's got a very StarCraft II Surg vibe. But you got to be honest, it always did look like that anyway in the original Warcraft 3. Those spiky tendrils. This describes it as far as I understand it. It's actually a little skinnier than I expected it to be. I don't know if it's meant to be that skinny. Because I still think they're supposed to be quite hulking beasts. I mean, it is a hulking beast, but I thought it's supposed to be a bit thicker, so to speak. Where's his eyes, though? That was always the hard part, is working out where a Fel Stalker's eyes were. Okay. Next, we move on to Kil'jaeden. Oh my goodness. What? Yikes. Move over, Diablo. Yeah, you can see the glow coming from his eyes. It's almost like his head's just a little bit too... being photoshopped to be extended a bit higher than it should be. But those shoulder plates are insane. This demonic chain over the waist belt. He looks incredible. He's like an insane cross between a Doomguard and Archimonde, isn't he? When you really think about it. Ah, even the horns are different. Yes. Me likey that. What's up with the wings, though? I guess they're taking his wings in a different direction. They look like they've got some sort of webbing to them from the first point, but on the last point there's nothing. So I guess that's a graphical glitch, and there should be webbing going on there. Because I don't think this is supposed to be empty at the back. Very good, though. I think the face just needs a little bit more personality instead of looking too snarly, and the head looking a bit too elongated. But otherwise, the shoulder, the armor, that's definitely set in place. And now we move on to Magtheridon. Ah, now this looks much more like your Pit Lord. He actually kind of looks like a cross between a grunt. A fat peon, a grunt, and a Pit Lord. That's kind of what I'm seeing right now. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because like I say, I like that we can get so much different types of each character. So different types of Pit Lord, different types of whatnot, you know. the human warriors, because you saw from yesterday, like the video I put up yesterday. If you haven't seen it, go check it out on the channel. Make sure to thumbs up as well if you haven't done so. All the human heroes, the campaign heroes with their massive swords, Ashbringers. Wow, it's like all these characters. They're all basically humanoid type characters, but they've got such a different look. I like the weapon. Wonder if the weapon could be a bit bigger though. It looks a little on the small side, but I could be wrong. I like how his wings have this kind of teal to purple sort of coloration going on, which almost looks like flip paint on a fancy car. And he's got like the tusks coming out of his tail, so he's different completely, and this sort of weird green webbing on the back of his skull. Yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. I love the look of the Pit Lord, and I just love how they can look so different as well. We can have so many of them. Next, we move on to Manoroth. Wait. Okay, oh, look at this. Yeah, I guess that is Manoroth. I think the face needs a bit of work, but I think the colouring is more or less on point. He's definitely got a bigger weapon, I think. He is teal, kind of. He's more of a kind of a grey, sort of silvery blue, I think. It's hard to describe. A bit darker. But he also has that sort of like bluish... He's basically got a bluish tint to him. So they are kind of right on that. I'm not sure if it definitely looks like him. You guys will have to let me know. Are the tusks exactly the right? I thought the tusks didn't point upwards like that, but... The face looks more disheveled, like he's almost slightly undead or something. So I feel like he should definitely resemble more of his original sort of angry, tusky look, where he's got sharp, pointy teeth and everything. The weapon definitely looks too... Hey, was that Manoroth? Or did I look wrong? It is. It does say Manoroth. Okay. Well, I'm not going to, like, fall apart. I love the look of this Pit Lord. I just don't know if that's definitely Manoroth to me. But, you know, you guys can let me know whether I'm being crazy or not. Moving on to Saffron. Oh, I can't really zoom in so well on this one. Yeah, the dragons look very fierce now. I like the look of them, to be honest. I know there's been people that didn't like so much of the look of them. The colouring on those wings. I think this belongs to the colour, the player teal, so you definitely know this is your character. Or belongs to teal. You're not going to be confused with that. It's hard to say with the dragon, isn't it? Like, that's Saffron, I guess. I think the thing that makes it more epic is the over-the-top horns. Otherwise, you can't really see too much more of the detail. You'd think it would be maybe a bit bulkier as well. But I think that's just kind of the way they look at the moment. Right then. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to thumbs up and subscribe for more content coming your way. Take care. Have a good one.